Hey guys, welcome to the Beards and Bitcoins podcast, the crypto podcast for the man's man. And don't forget the women who love them. I am your co-host, BitBoy. This is your other co-host, JChains. What is going on, Chains?
Hey, buddy. Hey. Well, today's Sunday, so happy Sunday. Happy football day.
Oh, happy week one. Happy NFL week one. So we got a jam-packed show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about football at the beginning of the show because, right, this is
that's what men talk about.
Yeah, for the man's man. So we definitely got to talk about football. We're going to talk about the Antonio Brown situation, which is really crazy. We're not going to spend too much on football because we got a lot of crypto stuff to talk about too. We're going to be touching on CoinMarketCap, our podcast from last week, and then I did a video about them, and I got viciously attacked. And I'm here to tell you, it was CoinMarketCap themselves attacking me. And then we're going to end the show talking about one of the biggest names in all of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency getting hacked and kind of what that means, for the future of not just necessarily crypto, but platforms in general. So sounds like a good show. What do you think, Chains?
I'm ready. I mean, for me, it's been a crazy week. I've been in New York. I am now in Chicago, and I'll be in Austin later in the week. So I'm super excited to sit down, talk to my buddy, talk about football, talk about crypto, and talk about that crazy hack.
Man, I tell you what, sometimes, James, I just can't get over how sexy your radio voice is.
Well,
I really felt like I was listening to NPR there for a second.
We got these new mics, and I got to say, man, we were talking about the level up. We started with our equipment, and boom. I mean, even in the monitors, man, you sound tasty.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Some people say I'm a whole snack. So that's what the kids are referring to these days, the hotties. So that would be me. But okay, so let's talk. This is week one of NFL. College football started last week, which, in the South where I am and you are, huge college football. There's a huge college football game this week at the University of Texas in Austin. And then obviously, Georgia, my team has had some games the last couple of weeks. We look really good and have won those games. But, the big thing right now is NFL week one is today,
Boom.
Actually. Yeah.
Boom.
And we're
you know what stinks, though? The season actually kicked off on Thursday, and I grew up in Chicago, so I'm a Bears fan, and they played the Packers, which is strange because I actually don't know why this changed because I think historically the first game of the season are the two teams that played in the Super Bowl. But this year, for the 100th anniversary, it was the Bears and the Packers on Thursday night.
I believe the reason they did that is because they're tired of playing in New England for game one.
People are just so sick of the
man.
Patriots.
So many times, the Falcons actually, we got the first game last year, and that was a disaster as well. Well, if you guys don't know, which you don't because we haven't told you, we're actually recording this between the two NFL games on Sunday. So my Falcons just played, and we got absolutely destroyed by
Minnesota
the Vikings.
Minnesota looks tough. I got to tell you. I mean, they came out strong, man.
No. I totally disagree. Kirk Cousins was like 8 of 10 for 30 yards or something crazy like that. He might have had 100 yards.
They had they have a good, solid defense.
This is the Falcons. Dude, I'm so frustrated. The very first play of the game, our all-pro center, I don't know if he's all-pro, but he's definitely been to the Pro Bowl before. He arguably is the one that cost us the Super Bowl by getting a holding penalty in the fourth quarter that allowed us or that pushed us out of field goal range. But first play of the game, Jake Matthews hits the wrong assignment at the end, and they get a sack on Matt Ryan the very first play. He just gets brutalized.
Crushed.
Then we run 2 or 3 plays. We go, or 2 more plays. We go 3 and out. Our first punt of the season was blocked. Our punter has had 9 kicks blocked.
He got blasted too.
Oh my gosh, dude, he's terrible, man. It's not him. It's not just him though. It's the whole special teams. So then we get the ball back after they score. So they score, of course, on the first. We had them like 1st and 20. Their first play was like a 25-yard run. And so they get a couple penalties. They get moved back. And then, 20-yard touchdown, totally humiliating. Then we get the ball. So remember, first play of the game was a sack. First punt of the season was blocked. Then Matt Ryan's first pass of the year was intercepted.
That's like – I mean, it brings a whole new meaning to Matty Ice. I mean, he's cold as ice. He's not hot. He's cold.
There are 2 interceptions. One of his interceptions was forcing the ball to Julio, and then the other interception was, throwing the ball up, and then our tight end not running, not stopping on the play. Basically, is what happened, and he threw an interception. Second one wasn't really his fault, But we get a new offensive coordinator. Like, think about this. We have Matt Ryan throwing to Julio Jones, Austin Hooper, Devontae Freeman, and Calvin Ridley. And instead of throwing to any of those guys, you try to throw the ball to Luke Stalker. Do you know who Luke Stalker is?
I've never heard of him in my life.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. I'm very frustrated right now with football just due to how this game went. Like, we ended up losing 28-12. We went for 2-point conversions on our 2 touchdowns that we scored because the game literally didn't matter. We were actually practicing 2-point conversions, which we didn't get either one of course, at the end of the game because it was so far out of reach. So, but my whole point here is this was not the Vikings today. The Vikings, they may turn out to be pretty good, but their first 2 touchdowns were from, like, they got the ball on our 25-yard line twice, you know? So,
yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you look at that and you say, like, okay, well, they scored 14 points when they had a short field, then they really just scored 14 points the rest of the game. You know, their offense was not that impressive. It was really our defense. When Dalvin Cook touched the ball, like, you really saw that he was going to get 20 yards on every play because there was literally no Falcons anywhere. Like, it was just a huge hole. So, anyway, so both of our teams lost is the long and the short of it, guys.
Bad week 1.
Yeah, it was not good. Other stuff that happened in football, we had the Antonio Brown thing this week that was totally crazy. And here, this is real crazy. Like, this doesn't really have a crypto tie-in, like, other than the fact that we're on social media all the time and we understand the power of Twitter and Instagram. But, you know, there's actually been evidence that's came out that he was contacting social media companies to find out what the fastest way is he could get released by the Raiders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, now, originally, I thought when these things started to come out, you know, we took, like, the hot air balloon to camp or whatever it was, and then he punched, like, the coach or whatever. You know, I actually thought that a lot of this was going to be just publicity for, you know, kind of pumping the Vegas. Yeah. You know, just coming to Vegas. Or, Hard Knocks.
Yeah, the Raiders have been on Hard Knocks this year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. So I thought it was all just publicity stunt stuff, you know, to promote that. And then, or really, I thought it was to promote, you know, the move to Vegas next year. But then, you know, once he gets released, then you're like, shoot, man, this guy just, was it $34 or a $25 million contract or something like that?
He had $29 million voided. So he forced himself out of, so a lot of people are saying this is the conspiracy, that his plan the entire time was to get to the Patriots. It was his plan the entire time.
Why do you want to be there? To play with Tommy?
Yeah, to play with Tommy. Tommy's going
Tommy.
Tommy.
I hate the Patriots.
Well, the Steelers could never beat him. So Antonio Brown wants a ring. So he forced himself. Basically, he forced a trade from the Steelers to the Raiders, knowing that he was going to do everything possible to get cut by the Raiders before the season started, so then he could go to the Patriots, because the Steelers would have never traded him to the Patriots. Right. So that's their big rival.
Yeah, and he has. I mean, was it because of conduct? Is that why he had to sit out the first game, regardless of what team he was on?
Yeah. Well, dude, it's so crazy. Well, here's all the stuff that went on with him in the offseason. First thing is he in a hyperbaric chamber, you know, he got frostbite on his feet, so he couldn't play the first few practices. Then, see, this is where it really gets to where you're like, you know what? There might be something to this conspiracy. This really might have been his plan the whole time. The helmet thing, okay? They wanted him his helmet that he used to wear with the Steelers is now outlawed in the NFL because it doesn't meet safety requirements, which I actually sell football helmets in another business I have, so I know a lot about football helmets. It was just like a regular shut helmet, which is not a high-level helmet at all that he had. And so he's going to a much better helmet, like either Riddell Speed Pro, or they have this new one called the Shut F7 Vengeance helmet, which is really sweet. It's like a F7, and then they also have the ones that most players wear that you see in the NFL. It's got kind of a little octagon-looking cutout on the front side of it. That's called a Speed Flex. So that's a Riddell Speed Flex. And so they were wanting him to move to one of these better helmets, and he was like, no, I want my old helmet. The old helmet's crappy. Like, I don't understand why he wanted it so much. It makes sense that he just cooked the whole thing up to cause drama to be able to eventually get released. So that was the first part of the drama. And so then he got into an argument with Mike Mayock, the GM of the Raiders, because they signed Vontaze Burfict. Vontaze Burfict was a guy who gave Antonio Brown a concussion in the playoffs a couple years ago between the Bengals and the Steelers. And so he flipped out on Mike Mayock, their GM, and he called him a cracker. He literally called Mike Mayock a cracker, and that was the thing that got him suspended. And then like he thought that was going to get him cut, and it didn't. So then he started making all these videos about how he wants to get released. Like he orchestrated this. It's really crazy. It's a dangerous precedent, you know. And it's the power of social media, you know.
Yeah.
Social media is really, really what made this happen. So, and I got him on my fantasy team.
Oh, so you didn't? Well, I'm sure you didn't miss him this week because he didn't play.
Right.
But so will he suit up next week with the Patriots? I mean, how do you learn a whole offense in a week?
At least by week 3. He'll be playing by week 3. I don't know if he'll play next week because the Patriots are actually like a little more conservative about starting new players, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I don't know. We'll just have to see. So obviously we've talked football in this crypto podcast for a while now. And some of you guys may not be interested in football, but it's week 1. This is like a holiday here in America. We love football here. We call it real football, of course.
Yeah,
so,
man football. How's your fantasy team doing?
Not good. Well, Antonio Brown being out really hurt my fantasy team. And then I had Aaron Jones on both my teams. So I have a BitBoy Crypto Fantasy League. Had Aaron Jones in both my leagues. He had a bad night against the Bears, who have a good run defense. So I'm really not looking at winning either one of my fantasy games in week 1. I'm kind of like the Falcons. I'm just packing it in and then hoping to start fresh.
Practice.
We talking practice? So yeah, that's kind of my plan for fantasy football. To be honest with you, I'm really not that good at fantasy football. I am. It's hard for me to watch a football game and cheer for individual players.
It's tough. Well, that's why you got to get the red zone. I mean, the red zone is incredible.
Well, I have it. I have the red zone. I have the NFL package. I got the whole thing. But my thing is like I would rather watch like if let's say I had not Patrick Mahomes. I'm trying to think of a bad team. Like, let's say I had Jacoby Brissett. That was my quarterback from the Colts, which nobody has him. But, like, let's say I had him, and they were playing the Jaguars, and I had Leonard Fournette. Like, I'm not going to watch the Jaguars versus the Colts because of some players, like, getting me stats because the game's going to be terrible. Like, I watch the games because I care about what happens to my team and the hierarchy of what teams are making the playoffs. Like, if Alvin Kamara is on my fantasy team, I hate the Saints. I'm going to still cheer against him. I would pick him because he's a good pick, but I would never be like, oh man, I hope he gets 200 yards today. I hope the Saints lose every single game. So like, I'm too much of a fan, I think, for fantasy football, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
So I don't do that great with fantasy football. I want a league for a crypto league, you know, where we all put in Bitcoin. We actually have it on Celsius, so it's earning interest throughout the season, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So we've already made like an extra $30 or $40 on it, on the prize kitty. But I'm not too hopeful that I'm going to be the one. I love football more than anything, but I'm just not great at fantasy football. I just care more about the individual teams and the stories and stuff like that. So, but that's enough football. Let's move on to talking about, speaking of attacking and speaking of like really going head to head, let's talk about CoinMarketCap for a little bit.
Man, you've got, I can't wait for you to tell this story to people. You know, if you've been following anything that we're putting out on social media, I mean, we're just head over whatever the expression is. Just CoinMarketCap sucks.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say.
And they have attacked me this week. And so, you know, it's very interesting what happened. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share, if you guys are watching on my channel, then you guys will get to see this. If not, I'll try to talk you guys through what we're looking at here. So this is a video that I made. Right.
And you did this after the episode. Was this before or after episode we did with Adele? It
was before it posted, but after we recorded it.
Okay.
And it's funny because when you look at some of these comments, like people are acting like I'm defending Adele and Daps Coin and Apollo. Like that's not what this is about for me. This is not about me picking one coin or another coin and being like, these coins got removed from CoinMarketCap or got dropped down and they're valid and I really like these coins. That's not what it's about for me. It's a lot of deeper stuff with CoinMarketCap.
It's about centralization. It's about companies that have way too much power or influence when, I mean, they shouldn't have as much influence as they do. That's a really cute picture of you.
You like that? Sorry, I accidentally hit the play button. I hit my space bar and it started playing. So sorry about that, guys. If you're watching, that's a really cute picture of me. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep it up for sure. But yeah. So anyways, the long and the short of it here is I made a video called "How to Use CoinMarketCap.com in 2019," and it really was just me dogging CoinMarketCap. So the video basically I start out and I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to show you guys the best way to use CoinMarketCap in 2019. This is a really crazy way to use it that you never thought of before. And so then what I do is I go through, I show some of the different settings in CoinMarketCap, and I'm like, okay, now what you got to do is go all the way up to the top left-hand corner. For a Mac, all of a sudden, that means that the X is going to pop up, the X to close the window or the green to maximize the window. And I said, all you got to do is see this red X, now click it and close CoinMarketCap because that site absolutely sucks. And so basically what I did is I made a video talking about how I don't think people realize this. CoinMarketCap is the number one site in cryptocurrency.
Everything.
It's the number one site.
Over Binance, over everything.
It was actually, this is interesting. I found this out in my research because some of these people that attacked me in this video said, you did no research. I did plenty of research on this. There was a time in 2017 where CoinMarketCap.com was just outside of the top 100 for every site in the world. It was sitting at, I believe, 114.
Like encompassing like everything, whether it's technology, sports, whatever.
Facebook, ESPN, eBay, Craigslist,
Pornhub,
YouTube, Google, Twitter. I mean, those are all top 100 sites. Most of those I named were in the top 10 to 20 sites, but they were right outside the top 100 out of all web traffic, which was absolutely insane.
That's nutty.
Yeah, they make 20. Now they're around 350. They make $20 to $30 million a year in advertising.
Isn't it some crazy thing where it's like two dudes in an apartment or something like that?
Well, this is what I got attacked for. A lot of people in the comments were saying that, it was very irresponsible for me to say that it was a guy in an apartment. But the long and short of it is there was an article written in 2018, just last year, that showed that the apartment building of the founder and owner, creator, CEO, whatever you want to call him, the main guy in charge, his name is Brandon Chez, Chez, that it was registered to an apartment building. And it's a Wall Street Journal article. Somebody told me, somebody was like, and we're going to look at some of these comments in a minute, but they said, oh yeah, you're obviously shilling this, like you wrote this article. And literally in the video, I say, this was posted to this was posted by the Wall Street Journal in 2018. Like I literally said that. So anyways, and a lot of people don't know this, is that CoinMarketCap actually caused the bear market. Now, it was going to happen. It was going to happen eventually, right? The alt run that we had in 2017 to 2018, early 2018, January, it wasn't going to last. But you can actually trace the bear market beginning back to one day, okay? One day, CoinMarketCap decided that they were going to remove all of the Korean exchange data from its website just like they just did, without telling anybody. They'll write a blog afterwards and explain what they did after they do it. But it's almost criminal, really, what they did.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you're the number one site for research data for any sector, cryptocurrency included, it would be like if TD Ameritrade or NASDAQ or one of these companies, ICE, the company behind the New York Stock Exchange, if they made some huge change, it would be like if the stock market dropped, 10% due to a change that they made without telling anybody. Like that would almost be a criminal offense.
Oh, absolutely. The SEC would probably come to them so fast.
Exactly. Yeah. But see, CoinMarketCap is not a regulated thing. It's basically just like we were talking about in the last video. Like it may not be two dudes in a basement. They say they have 40 employees now, but I think they're decentralized. I don't think all 40 of those people actually, well, and when I say decentralized, I mean the structure of the company is. So I don't think all of those 40 people actually work there. And so I don't know, maybe it is still in the apartment, but they're saying it's not. So I'm going to trust them. It's not an apartment. They actually have an office building somewhere, but it is just kind of it's become more professional. But what happened that day when they removed the Korean data from the Korean exchange data is that the market panicked. Do you know how much money was lost on the markets in one day due to CoinMarketCap?
Wasn't it like 200 billion or something like that?
$100 billion, which
100 billion.
yeah,
Crazy.
right now is like 30% of the entire market. You know?
Yeah, nuts. I mean, that's just to have the bottom drop out like that because of one site.
Yeah,
Man, that's nutty.
that's centralized right there.
Oh, 100%.
But I mean, CoinMarketCap is never. I mean, they're not trying to be. I mean, how can you really have a decentralized coin research site? You probably can't. That's probably not a real thing. However, as a crypto community, we can do better and use other sites. So I'm no longer using CoinMarketCap. I'm using Coin360. I'm using Live Coin Watch. I'm using mostly CoinGecko now.
Yep.
Also, a lot of people were mentioning one called Coin Paprika, which I've actually never visited before, so I'm going to check that one out too. But I think it's good to have
a decent
other
one.
sources.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, that Coin Paprika is a pretty decent one. I love 360 for like that heat map for how it looks. But I mean, with use of the app and everything, CoinGecko, I think that's a fantastic app.
Yeah. So let's talk about them attacking me. So I did this video. Now you guys will notice it has 95 likes on it and 4 dislikes if you go check out the video. Now, at one time it had about 47 likes and 2 dislikes. And what I'm about to tell you, I don't have screenshots of. So you guys are just going to have to trust me on this.
We're not liars. BitBoy, he's a stand-up guy. He wouldn't lie to you.
Look, I'm literally standing up right now. Okay.
Literally.
I would not lie to you. So these numbers are very important because this video went from 47 likes and 2 dislikes to within 2 minutes, 47 likes and 7 dislikes. Okay. Why would that happen? Well, obviously that doesn't make sense. Like that, all of a sudden 47 people would like it and 2 people would dislike it. And then the next 5 in a row that would come in would dislike it. The odds of that happening are very small. CoinMarketCap, whether it came from the top or whether it came from, their office, they got a hold of this. I tagged them on Twitter. So I'm sure CoinMarketCap saw this video, and I don't know if they have a marketing team. I don't know if it's a tiered system, but there's definitely a group of people who came after me. Now, you're looking now and it's 95 and 4. Well, the reason this is because after I called them out for this, okay, after I called them out for this, the next minute, 5 of those dislikes were gone. So these two, the extra 2 dislikes here, they're legit. Like, they're people that didn't like my video. That's great. They're probably other YouTubers. That's who mostly doesn't like videos. But it went from 2 to 7 and then back to 2 after I called them out for it. So obviously this was a coordinated attack. Now, one thing I say in one of these comments is very true is CoinMarketCap is not a crypto project. So right. No one owns CoinMarketCap coins. That's not a thing, right? No one has invested in CoinMarketCap other than, I would say, maybe the people that advertise on there. So the question is, who would possibly want to come attack me from the general crypto audience?
I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, as a person who, myself would watch a YouTube video or just a general person, if I even were to see that someone said, oh man, someone's disliked this video as a coordinated attack, and even if it was just me that disliked it, I wouldn't go back and undislike it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you said, so it just makes sense what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I mean it definitely was for sure. Oh, I hit the wrong thing there. God, there. I had to fix my screen there. It got all crazy for a second. But the thing about this is that it was obviously a coordinated attack on me. And I'm going to show you some of these comments here in just a second. So we've established that there's no way that anyone from the larger, greater crypto community, and I want to bring this other thing up real quick. Now, listen, you guys know, Michael Nye, Shill Nye on Twitter. He's a friend of the show. He's been on the show. I like him. I've met him in person several times. We're friends. We get along well. I mean, we're not buddies by any stretch of the imagination. We don't text each other or anything like that. But, we send some DMs back and forth on Twitter. And so I want you guys to know, like, I'm not calling him out for this because I don't know that there's anything sketchy going on with this. But I will say
he white knighted CoinMarketCap though.
He did white knight CoinMarketCap. So right after, about 2 days after I did this video, he had a post, and he may have never seen my video, but I don't know. Did somebody from CoinMarketCap contact him and say, hey, we're getting a lot of heat or, whatever over the Adele situation, Adele Meyer? or Del Meyer. But, I don't know. Was it just a coincidence? Like he just came up with this post. Maybe it was. And I like him and I know him. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But, he white-knighted for them a little bit and said, I don't understand why CoinMarketCap gets so much heat. I was like, well, we've talked about all the reasons why it gets a lot of heat. So let's get down and let's look at some of these comments here that I got. So here is one. I honestly can't. This is Guillermo Fraterso. So we're going to establish the people, right? We got Guillermo Fraterso. Okay. We got Cloud Walker. We have William DeRue. Okay. And we have Wired Nomads and Frank Moravsky. Okay. These are the people that attacked me. 5 people. And they all attacked at the same time. Cloud Walker, this guy Cloud Walker, who came and made this comment, he made this comment a little bit later. So I can't say for sure that he was definitely in the same group, but definitely William, Frank, Wired Nomads, and William DeRue and Guillermo Fraterso, all of these guys, they attacked me at the exact same time. Like we're talking about within minutes of each other. So obviously something coordinated. So let's check out some of these comments. I honestly can't wait to see if you're going to ask Adele Del Meyer or Daymeyer if she actually has the guts to get their lawyer asking CMC to remove her coin like you said in her video. So I think I responded. No. Then Cloud Walker says, she's so strange. She hates on CMC because she desperately wants to be ranked high. Did you not see that's what this whole debacle was about? It's about her project being in the top 200. Like, once again, that's not what this is about. This is about CoinMarketCap, a company that's proven to have a huge impact on the market, making changes overnight without telling everyone, and then trying to go on the back end on a blog and then say, oh, this is what we did after we already did it. After people could be in the middle of research when you're for investments, when you make that change, and you have a responsibility to the people that are the users on your site to tell them before you make a big change.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially when you're changing algorithms, when you're going to see a project go from one something down to the thousands, you got to put out a memo or something beforehand. You got to just let people know, because this is livelihoods. I mean, people are putting their entire lives into this. You've got investors putting money into it. And you never should invest more than you're afraid that you can lose. But still, I mean, to do that and to screw people over, I mean, it goes to show that it's not cool.
Well, in this one of these comments that we'll get to in a second, it said, gosh, what was it they said? I lost my train of thought there for a second. He said, oh, well, they put it on. Let me ask you this question, Jay, before I get into that. How many times have you been to CoinMarketCap in your life?
In my life? I would definitely say, well, now for me, one of the things when I was working for the exchange back in 2017, 2018 is I was on the project review team. So I had to do a lot of research into projects. So I would definitely say 5,000 to 10,000 times probably.
That's the exact number I would put myself on with it. Same thing, 5,000 to 10,000. How many times have you visited their blog?
I didn't even know they had a blog.
Exactly. So in the comments, they say they put it on their blog. They don't have a responsibility to tell people. This is obviously them defending themselves. It's very clear.
100%.
So, because I mean, look at all these, I got so many comments on Twitter too, like, well done. Thank you for calling them out. And then I got these few guys that all of a sudden at the same time attacked me. So here we go. It's clear. This is from Cloud Walker. He says, it's clear from your commentary you don't know what you're talking about. Do you even know the type of analysis that go into aggregating data? I know that if you make a change to the way you're doing it, you should tell people. All watchers here, I suggest you not consume ill-informed content from a guy who sounds jealous and angry and just wants to shake his fist at an institution. I'm very jealous because I have a coin aggregation site, obviously.
And using CoinMarketCap branding on your thumbnail to get views shows you're a sucker? Come on, man. What is that even about?
So I said, and this was my comment here. Yes, I'm so jealous. I could totally be getting hot babes if only I ran a research website out of my apartment. So and then this guy, one of the other guys, he says, dude, if you repeat a lie 1,000 times, it doesn't become true. CMC is not run from an apartment. Do your own research.
Why are they so hung up on this?
No, because no one knows where it's ran because it's so freaking secretive. Look up Brandon Shez on LinkedIn. You will find out basically zero about this guy. He is the most secretive guy in all of crypto. Can you name another company that's a $20 to $30 million per year company that you can't find any information about the CEO? I would love to see it, honestly. Yeah. So, yeah. So there's a bunch more comments here about this whole thing. But here's another one though. They actually told everyone through their blog pretty clearly. Once again, we've established we don't know anything about the blog. Most useless 16 minutes of my life. Now, I want you guys who are listening to understand, most comments I got on this video were very favorable. They were very favorable. I'm reading the ones from this few select people here. So, LOL, CoinMarketCap is actually a pretty large team. You can check it on LinkedIn. Go check it out. Go check out the employees. Doesn't say anything about where it is. It's definitely not ran from an apartment. Once again, like they're so focused on that. I sound so, once again, the word jealous comes up. I'm pretty sure that all of these people are in the exact same room. So Guillermo says, why don't you tell everyone where you live and what your real name is? My name is Ben Armstrong. I live in Acworth, Georgia. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we say this like every week that like you're from Atlanta and I'm from Austin. Like,
yeah. What? I mean, I don't care if people know who I am. You know, I actually probably, I actually have my face everywhere, unlike Brandon. And I'm still not scared. Come at me if you want to come at me. I'm not scared of anything because I've got a good setup. Come try to hack me. Come on and try.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. And if you want to fight me, please come show up. I'll meet you halfway.
Ooh. Hey.
So let me tell you someone who ain't scared. Come at me, bro.
BitBoy.
BitBoy don't give up. So anyways, then I had people attacking me about like, oh, well, you shill everything. I'm like, yeah, hey guys, if you want to do a video on my channel, it's $1,000. But you know what? I turned down 90% of those because I won't do scams. So they try to attack my character. They try to attack what I do. But at the end of the day, you guys remember this. Who is a fanboy of CoinMarketCap? Absolutely no one. This is an orchestrated attack against me. And I don't know if Shill Nye's post, is anything related to this, but CoinMarketCap doesn't have fanboys. No one's invested in CoinMarketCap. Now, if I said something about a coin, I would get attacked like crazy.
And that's understandable. But like you said, there's no coin, there's no project. You can't invest in CoinMarketCap. You can only advertise as a project. So to white knight CoinMarketCap, go pound sand.
Yeah, go pound sand. So anyways, I just thought it was absolutely hilarious that they tried to attack me. And I mean, this went on for like this thread right here had 8 comments. And here it is. You can see where I said, Ben Armstrong, Acworth, Georgia, come at me, bro. That's literally what I said. So this is this guy said that I'm I don't curse on the show, but just so you guys get the actual term here, he called me a shitcoin shiller. And so my reply to that was, ooh, you got me. That one stings. Name the altcoin I shilled that cost the market $100 billion, nerd.
Nerd alert. Guillermo,
alert.
You're a nerd.
Yeah, and then he tried to say like, oh, well, Adele paid you to come on your show. How much money did Adele pay us to be on our show?
Nothing, man.
$0. We did. That was not a paid interview.
But if you want to pay to be on the show, just email us.
Just email us. We will accept you. But you know what we will do? We will be transparent, and we will say that it was a sponsored review because that's the way we are. We're transparent people. Unlike CoinMarketCap, the most secretive company in all of crypto. And these are obviously minions that they sent out to attack me, to attack what we do in the podcast. One of them made a reference to the Beards and Bitcoins podcast. So they obviously, watched it to know that I mentioned that we would be having that. And it's just ridiculous. And so, I'm making it my personal mission at this point. Obviously, look, I'm one guy. I can't take CoinMarketCap down. I can't do it. But let me tell you, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that these other sites and options that people have are out there, out there for everyone to see. So
absolutely.
It's really frustrating to see this. You know what? I would feel a lot better. Like I would call truce with CoinMarketCap. If CoinMarketCap said, okay, you know what? We did send some people. Those were guys from our office. I'll call truce. If y'all will admit that you guys sent these people here, I'll call truce with you. I'll never say another bad word about you again. I just want to see it.
I can't promise that I won't say a bad word about CoinMarketCap, but I
just want to hear. I want to hear the honesty. I want to hear it.
That'd be good. Maybe if that's the case, if we both got to call a truce, we can. but
No, no. Oh, no, no. You can keep going. I'm talking about me personally.
Good. CoinMarketCap sucks.
Hey, this is a BitBoy only deal right here. So yeah. Well, speaking of crazy platforms, definitely we have to talk about what happened with Jack Dorsey.
The CEO, in case you're not familiar, Jack is the CEO of Twitter.
Yeah. The CEO of Twitter, founder of Twitter, also the founder of Square that runs a Cash App, and he was hacked on Twitter.
How in the world does that happen?
It's hard to say, man, honestly. It's hard to say.
I mean, if like there's one account that you would think that could not, should not, would not get hacked, it'd be Jack's.
Absolutely. Like you would think that. You would think that there's no way that the founder could get hacked. And
was that diet? Was you sipping on that diet A&W?
No, this is actually. I'm not on a diet right now. Oh, I have a big announcement I'm going to make. I'm going to make a big announcement here in a second. But this is actually a brisk sweet tea because we love sweet tea in the South.
Mm-hmm.
So I do love sweet tea.
I'm more of an unsweet tea guy. Have you been to McAllister? You probably love McAllister's tea, don't you?
I don't even know if I can talk to you anymore. Sweet tea. Oh, you're from Chicago, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, you get a pass. We're from the North, but I still think y'all are ridiculous. I don't understand it. I mean, sweet tea is, God's greatest creation, in my opinion. I don't know if he actually he created the sugar and the tea, so he created it. Okay.
That's
people from up north will be like, just put some sugar in your tea. No, that's not the way it works, you idiots. I'm sorry. You have to put the sugar in when it's hot. That's the only way.
Oh, that's the way to do it because the hot water helps melt the sugar. It's like
if you don't use, end up with a clump of sugar. If it's cold, you just get a clump of sugar at the bottom. Did y'all not take chemistry?
It's like when you got to use the liquid sugar when you're having iced coffee. Now I drink coffee black. I don't put anything in it. But my wife, she puts sugar and a little bit of cream in there. So when we make iced coffee, you got to make the melted sugar so that it doesn't just granulate and sit at the bottom of your coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So, but here's the big announcement. I have decided.
Bum bum bum.
I'm going to run a marathon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. All right. So we're moving. Our house is finished. Well, let's talk about your marathon first, dude. I'm really excited for that.
First of all, I would like to say I have ran a marathon before.
Really?
A lot of people don't know this about me. Yeah, back in 2010, I believe. Yeah, I think it was 2010. I ran a marathon. I did it in 9 minutes and 56 seconds a mile for 26 miles. I think my time was.
Are you kidding me?
No, yeah, it was 4 hours and 16 or 17 minutes. I think I ran 26 miles. Yeah.
No. That for me, I've never ran more than 4 to 5 miles in my entire life at one time. If I were to run a marathon, I guarantee you I would be that person, like it's pitch black when I'm finishing. I'm crawling across I would be crawling across the finish line if I even finished. I don't even know if I could run a marathon.
Well, I decided that I am going to run a marathon as a challenge to myself to get back in shape and make it happen. Now, I was still not skinny when I did it. I was still I'm about 234 pounds right now. I was probably about 206 when I ran the marathon. So I was still a pretty big boy. So I've decided I'm going to do a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and then a marathon and every month. So a month from now, I'll be running a 5K, which I can run a 5K right now. Obviously, I mean, I'm not, I'm not super huge. I can run. I've been running 3 miles a day, a few times a week for the last couple of weeks. This week I didn't, but I decided that's what I need to do. So I'm going to run that marathon. I'm going to probably wear like a BitBoy shirt or something, represent what's going on. Maybe a Beers and Bitcoins hat or something.
Nice.
Those, and make it happen, show people that, you can get out and do something positive.
Dude, that's really exciting. Yeah. I'm turning a new leaf as well. We're my wife and I are building a house. We should be moved in by the end of the month. In the development, we've got this place called the Union. That's where like the pool, they've got, co-work space. There's a gym. So I'm going to get back to the gym, get healthy. And so last night here in Chicago was hanging out with all my siblings. And like the last time I was in town, my sister that's below me in age, because I'm one of 5, she challenged me to a foot race, and we did it in my mom's backyard and slipped and fell, hurt my knee. It was kind of a mess, but it was fun. We had a good time. But I won. And she wanted to challenge me. And I'm not in shape right now. And my sister is in like great shape. So if she's listening to this episode, you got smoked by a fat guy. Because we did like a 50-yard dash in the parking lot, like behind my mom's house. There's like a whole complex with like office buildings and stuff. And we did, man, I blasted her. And my whole family was like, geez.
Do we need to have a head-to-head 50-yard, 40-yard dash?
We could, man. We the Beards and Bitcoins dash. So now I've got to get myself into shape because the plan is at Christmas time, we are going to do a full lap around a track, and it's going to have to be a sprint. So I'm going to have to be in good shape because
that's a quarter mile.
Dude, that 40-yard dash that I did last night, I'm not joking to you. I puked afterward. I haven't done any activity like that in a long time.
Well, it's funny, like for our little football team, I coach football. I coach T-ball, football, and soccer right now. And for our little football team, we don't have enough people to field like a full kickoff team and a full return team at one time because players play both ways. So they put me back at returner. Now these are 7, 8, 9-year-old kids.
Did you burn them?
Don't have the moves like I used to have. Used to, I'd have a little move where I just, palm the football and hold it out and then go the other way, but it didn't work out so well. I realized that was actually the moment I decided I need to run a marathon. They got me pretty good. Now they didn't tackle me. I mean, I'm a grown man. They can't tackle me, but
they could get you.
I had to give up at some point because they were around me like a bunch of, freaking angry midgets or something. We may not consider midgets on the show.
Well, short, vertically challenged. But so the moral of all of these two stories is that BitBoy and I, we're going to get in shape and we are going to start challenging people to foot races all over the country.
That's right. All over the country, we're going to do foot races. And if you want to challenge us, good luck because we're going to be real.
Ooh, you know what we should do? We should challenge the staff of CoinMarketCap to a good old-fashioned runoff.
If y'all don't want to fight me because I know y'all a bunch of nerds and I know that ain't the route y'all like to go, we'll do a foot race. We'll do and you know what we'll do? We'll do an 80s montage. We'll have an 80s montage pumping in the background, Duh, 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 duh. That's right. And I'll bust all of you. And hey, the winner gets CoinMarketCap.
Yes, pink slips.
That's right. We'll take it. We'll take ownership if we beat y'all in a foot race. we might even have to give y'all nerds a head start. Nerd alert.
I find this to be so funny. Anyway, so back to Jack Dorsey getting hacked.
Jack Dorsey got hacked. And, the one thing I want to talk about in this, I mean, we're almost out of time here, but the one thing I want to talk about with Jack Dorsey getting hacked is the fact that, the guy that hacked him was a suspended user. And he asked Jack Dorsey to unsuspend his account through the hack. Now, the hacker said some really awful things. It was very racist. I don't want to repeat any of the stuff he said. I don't want to give him any oh, great job for doing this. But the point is, I think some of the people really need to understand is that these big, large, centralized companies, they can jack you up overnight. They can close your account. YouTube can demonetize you. All of these platforms, really, they say that podcasting is the last frontier for being able to actually run your own business. Because with podcasting, you have so many different places you can put your podcast out at, and you actually handle your own advertising. Like, we don't have a boss. There's no boss that we have. You could make an argument that on YouTube is your boss. I mean, they're the ones that decide whether or not your videos are going to get monetized. They're the ones that decide how much the rates are going to be. They decide everything. But with podcasting, it's a medium in which you're really running your own business and you get to call your own shots. But with YouTube, they can cut you off overnight. You can have a hugely successful Instagram account. Well, we just saw this on Instagram as well because Instagram is now attacking meme accounts. Some of the absolutely. Some of the largest meme accounts with millions of followers who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars per year on advertising, got totally shut down. Their accounts banned overnight.
With any kind of warning, any kind of notice, nothing?
Nope, nothing. Just boom. One day their accounts are gone. And, here's the thing. Guess what? The people that were running those accounts, the people that owned those accounts, they probably made a lot of money off memes and that's cool, whatever. But I'm sure those people at this point, if you're making millions of dollars a year, you have employees working for you too. And boom, Account's gone overnight. Now there might be somebody that was working, doing, graphic design for them or whatever, that was doing that to feed their kids. And now all of a sudden,
feed their babies.
And all of a sudden now Instagram says, no, your baby's got to starve. And you know what that leads to? That leads to a situation like this hack where people get suspended and they want to lash out at centralized companies. That the YouTube shooter that went up a few years ago after YouTube demonetized her and shot and injured 3 people at the YouTube headquarters before killing herself.
Mm-hmm.
Though that's the collateral damage that comes with centralization. And one thing I've seen after doing a lot of these street videos I've done on my channel and asking people about Bitcoin is that people really don't understand centralization versus decentralization, because it doesn't seem like a thing that you need to worry about until it happens to you.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I wonder if that's, a good way to start targeting and spreading mass adoption is like, hey, this is why crypto needs to be here, is because there are these companies that have far too much power. Mm-hmm. And if we can start using different options and services and platforms that are more of a decentralized nature, where you're taking the power away from the big guys and redistributing it, I mean, that could be very beneficial to a lot of industries, a lot of sectors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and I think that's the key in America, because when we look around the world at different countries, with the other countries, it's the government that they have to worry about doing this to them. We're kind of fortunate that we're just in a situation where, we're having to worry about companies. But I think like some people would probably argue this. And I think there is a valid argument to be made here, but we don't live in a repressive government. Like, yeah, our government, it sucks. It does like too much stuff. It's overreaching, but it's not, oppressive. Like it's not, you still can go out and make a living, no matter what. Even if I had nothing, I could go to McDonald's and get a job, and the government isn't going to come in and, whatever, and stop me from doing that. Now I may not be living a glamorous life, but, in America, we really have to, I think this conversation about content creators, because more people are becoming content creators. Like kids want to grow up and be YouTube stars. The kids on my football team think it's the coolest thing ever that I'm a YouTuber. They're like, oh, you got a YouTube channel? One of the kids, he was like, dude, what's your channel? I was like, BitBoy Crypto. He's like, the next day he came in, he's like, I watched one of your videos. I was like, oh, really cool. He's like, it was kind of boring. I was like, you're not going to understand cryptocurrency. I said, just buy Bitcoin. That's all you need to know. So, but anyways, yeah, I think that's the conversation we got to have with people, is about the power of, centralization and how these companies are just holding people's livelihoods, in the palm of their hand.
No bueno, man. That is no bueno.
Are you Spanish?
That was my Spanish word for the day.
Dude, are you Spanish?
No. Do I look Spanish?
Name is Spanish.
It's Italian.
That Spanish Italian is very interesting. Like, because I didn't know this. Like Armando, I always thought was a Spanish name, and we have a friend Armando that stayed with us in Las Vegas, and he spells his name with an O instead of an A, like ARMO instead of ARMA. And I was like, never seen it spelled like that. He's like, it's because it's Italian. I was like, dang, okay, whatever.
That's why we're homies.
Yeah, that's right. He is the homie. So, all right. Well, that's pretty much all we got for today. Definitely want to say a big shout out to Monarch Token for sponsoring this video and being the main sponsor of our podcast. You guys can check them out at monarchtoken.io.
Thanks, Beatles.
Yep, we appreciate all the support. If you guys are interested in advertising on our channel, make sure to reach out to us, info@beardsandbitcoins.com.
Yeah, we're always around. You can always get us on Twitter. YouTube's,
get all of it. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I guess that's it. We will talk to you guys later.
Have a good one.